Hey guys, good morning or afternoon, depending on when you watch this, or evening. So I was playing around with Excel for your Salinity Lab or your Salinization Lab, and I decided I hate the process and how long it is to do a lab with the data presented this way. So I've kind of relogged the same information over here with no labels because I was just testing it out originally. We have our salinity measurements up top, so 0 through 3%. And then we have our days or our time over here on the right. So at 0 days, everything was 0. Nothing had grown previously before we started this experiment. At day 14, we had some of them grow. I don't even remember whose data I took. So just make sure it matches your own data. But at day 14, we were able to have some sort of growth in some of our seeds. So we're just going to turn this into one graph, one single graph. All right. So I'm going to highlight the area of the data that I want to use and go to Insert. And you can do recommended charts, graphs, whatever. I don't care. Sometimes I kind of scroll over and preview them. I'll be honest with you, I hate stacked bars because as you can see, you can't see anything for the 0. But I do like when they're next to each other. It's just, at least for me, it's a visual thing. You don't want to look like you're missing any data because zeros are still data. So you can go ahead and click on this, and we're doing bar charts because this is categorical data. So a line chart, while we could do the x-axis over time, it looks a little bit weird. And since we only took the 2 data points, yeah, it just looks weird. So we'll do the bar graph. So we need a chart title. So in this case, we were looking at length of sprout. With your graph titles, there's usually both or some alluding to the variables. Now we just need some axes labels. So add chart element, axes title, and we want both X and Y. So down here we have our percent salinity or NaCl for calcium chloride. And then on this side, we have our length of sprout in millimeters. Remember, you always want to include your units if you need to. So that's probably the easiest way to set one up. I played around with it in a couple different formats because one is not perfect. You can always look at different ways of doing it. So the first one is the one I just did on top. If you wanted to look at instead of salinity comparison, well, you're still comparing the salinity, but you're still looking at everything was 0 at the first day, everything except for the last 3 in this case grew on the 14th day. So you can flip them around depending on which one you feel better represents your data, and that, I believe, is it. Please let me know if you have any questions.